Hi, everybody. You're tuned in to Where Waters Meet, a podcast featuring discussions on fly fishing, art, all things outdoors with a conservation focus. Hey, everybody. It's Alex Poland, also known as AL Poland. Some of you might know me from that because that's what I sign my paintings as. But here we are, episode 1, Where Waters Meet. Just want to go through kind of how I came about that name and what we're going to be about and what we're going to kind of focus on. So, first of all, I want to say very excited. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time, and it all started with fly fishing and my passion to want to guide people. And then that came about, well, before that, I started painting. And then I kind of wanted to have this, venture where I could make a go of this and do things that I loved and put people in touch with the things that they love. And that's where yurts and glamping came about. And that's where we are right now. We're recording at the gallery at Western Maine Yurts, which is in Bethel, Maine. And this is one of my businesses that I just feel passionate about, and I really enjoy putting people in touch with the outdoors because I think it's something that we all need. I think it's a innate human desire that often people don't even realize that they have until they've had an experience. So that's why I figured out that I wanted to come up with a title that kind of embodied all that. So I thought of Where Waters Meet because that's where all the good stuff happens. Tributaries, confluences, wherever there's two bodies of water that come together, just good things happen there. People are there, fish are there, animals are there. It's engaging. And so I felt like my 3 businesses are symbiotic and they incorporate all of those same things. And I wanted to also weave in discussions on conservation, which I'm very, very passionate about. And I felt that Where Waters Meet just summed up the great things about fly fishing and the great things about the outdoors and what I'm trying to accomplish. So I hope that my rant isn't too confusing. We'll try to keep things as concise as possible for you guys in the future, but there you go. Where Waters Meet, that's the name of the podcast, and I'm so excited to be doing this. So I'll get into like the 3 businesses, and then I will talk a little bit about myself so you guys have a little bit of a background, and I might weave them all kind of together as we go here. But essentially, I grew up just a small town, boy here in Maine. I lived in Woodstock or Bryant Pond. Basically has 2 names. Your mailing address is Bryant Pond, but you live in the town of Woodstock. So yeah, there's a Maine-ism for you. But so I grew up, went to a small Christian school, was always connected to the outdoors. Had an uncle that got me fishing from a very, very early age. I remember the first brook trout that I ever caught. I was 5, and I actually was all alone and just went down to a little trickle stream behind the house and with my brand new Zebco and 202 reel and caught him. And that kind of inspired the journey of fishing, and it evolved over the years. As a teenager, we had a camp that my dad built on Hogan Pond, and so I began bass fishing there. And then later on, my wife Gretchen, loved going to the beach, and my Scandinavian pale-skinned, self burnt. So laying out wasn't that good, but I saw everybody catching stripers on the coast. So I did that for a long time. And I really didn't get into fly fishing until I was actually in my 20s. But yeah, so that's my fishing journey to the point where I was fly fishing. But, I went to uh, small Christian school. Like I said, I went and then I did homeschool in high school so I could snowboard. My mother was very good to me and allowed me to do that as long as I got my work done. And we would come up here actually to Bethel is kind of what originally made me fall in love with the area. It wasn't very far north from me, but I'd have a season's pass at Sunday River and did so much snowboarding as a teenager. It was really great. And then I went on to college, ended up getting my master's in occupational therapy, but I never practiced that. I had about a year left and I really enjoyed what I was doing within the family business and the creativity that afforded me and the options that I knew that would give me in the future career wise. And so I finished college and I went down that route. I got married to my beautiful and extremely supportive wife, Gretchen, who has put up with the craziness that I am at times for many years, and I couldn't be here without her. And we have two wonderful kids, Abner and Gracie, and they're pursuing their high school careers now and involved in sports, and it's just fun seeing what they come to become. But yeah, so that's kind of my personal journey. And what I would leapfrog off from that and discussing my businesses is that it kind of started with fly fishing, which wasn't a business at all. It was just a passion. And then I started to paint because of that. And I was a sketch artist as a kid growing up. And I like the simplicity of sketching in black and white. And my mother would always say, Alex, you should paint. And it was because my mom is, or was an amazing portrait artist, an amazing painter. And I got to watch her paint as a little kid. I'd sit there and watch her paint. And my grandmother and even my great grandmother, I got to watch at a very young age paint. And it was very special. It's something that I definitely don't take for granted and I think of often. It was just great to be able to see how they all went about painting and art differently. And I didn't realize that even meant anything to me until I kind of began the journey of fly fishing. And for the first time, I actually was inspired. When I was younger, it was very much, I would find something to paint, or not paint, sorry, draw. And you just did it, you'd be like, okay, well, yeah, I'll draw that. That would be kind of cool, and, but I didn't really feel inspired. But when I started fly fishing and taking photos of fish and I would look at them after the fact, I was like, man, these colors are amazing. I really want to try painting one of these. And so that's kind of how the journey began. And, so I pursued the art and I, kind of went all out on that for quite some time. And it was an amazing journey. And I had collectors and friends and so many supporters and people that loved art hats and apparel and you name it. And then my mother passed away 6 years ago. And that really kind of crushed my creative drive and spirit for a period of time. And that, was a hard thing for me to recover from, but I knew that I wanted to get back to it. And I knew that I needed to have other financial means to be able to pursue my art. And so that's where I came up with the idea of guiding. That's where I came up with the idea of putting people in touch with the outdoors through our yurt glamping facility. And I wanted to have businesses that work together. And, we're at a point now where it's been quite a journey to get here, but our yurt facility is complete. We have 16 yurts, we have 2 bathhouses, and we have about 2 miles of trail that people can hike, walk, snowshoe, cross country ski. And we're on about 128 acres here. So we're close to the Androscoggin River. We take clients out via drift boat. We do offer some wade trips. Smallmouth fishing is big. And we have this small gallery here, which I'm able to showcase my art, and I can work when guests are here. And we offer coffee on Sunday mornings and some goodies and snacks and what have you. And it's been an amazing journey to get here. And I feel so lucky to be able to have so many people come together and enjoy, which just gets back to where waters meet. That's kind of where we're at with this. But I guess I've probably touched on talking about myself for the most part. So I guess what I'll do at this point is I will get into like what the show format's going to be so that you guys know what to expect in the future. So I'm going to try to come out with an episode. I haven't decided if it's going to be once a week or once every 2 weeks during the winter months. We'll probably scale that back in the summer when we're out fishing and on the river, because that's our busy time guide wise. And that's our busy time as far as gaining the inspiration for me to be able to paint in the winter months. So what we will be doing is I'd like to feature an At the Vice section of each episode. And I'm really excited about that. I love tying. It's a passion of mine. And I feel that there's components I would like to bring to it that might be a little bit unique. What I mean by that is we'll probably have guests. We might even do I haven't decided this yet, but we might do the At the Vice section of the show with guests where we can discuss a fly pattern that they're passionate about. But I'd like to go over tying techniques. I would like to show people obviously how to tie flies. I think that's great. But also to have in-depth discussions about materials, maybe even material selections. Go into modern patterns. I like tying streamers personally the best, but we'll do dries and all of that, and we'll talk about tires that have inspired us. We might discuss a little bit of history. I think we will go down the rabbit hole of, instead of just showing a pattern and saying, use a mustad size, 14, blah, 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 with this thread, with this wire, whatever. We might get into that, but I'd like to get into why it's tied a certain way and what the aspects of that tie do to that fly so that it has the action or the purpose that it was designed for. Plus, there's a lot of flies and patterns that can be fished many different ways. And I would like to attach the style of fishing and tactics part maybe more heavily. I think that it's great to be a great tyer, and I would not consider myself a great tyer, but it's also great to know how to fish things. And so I am excited to go down that rabbit hole. As you can tell, my mind is kind of spinning about it. Sometimes I can get a little over the top with, letting my brain race and get a little too out on the creative end of things. But we're going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm excited about it. I think that we'll probably have a write-in section. I would love having input on like what people would like us to discuss at the Vice. I love ideas. I love creative ideas. I love just input, feedback. So any ideas that you guys got, let us know. I also, another aspect of the show or a component that I would like to try to feature. It's possible in the summer months we might not have as much content because I won't be creating, but we'll probably discuss other tactics. But I would like to have an at the easel segment. And that might involve me showcasing a painting like the one that I have behind me. I just finished and signed it yesterday, so it's officially done. Even if I see something I don't like, it's done because I signed it. So we might feature some of that. You know, this is Dressed for the Party is the title, and it's actually a painting that I did of a landlocked Atlantic salmon, a Sebago salmon. And, you know, we might do that, but I think we're also going to get into techniques, materials. We might, who knows, we might have little paint sessions. It's open for discussion. We're going to see how it develops. It's going to evolve. I don't know what it's going to be, but I just want to let you guys know that that's something that we can plan on. And if you guys have ideas, let us know, let me know. And we welcome those, and you know, who knows what it will turn into. But at the easel will be a portion of the show. Product reviews. So this is something that Johnny, which you have to say Johnny. You can't say Johnny. That's his name. We've been talking about this for a long time, and we like candid product reviews of gear that's really kind of been beat up and people have used it. Sometimes gear is great gear, but you don't use it in your application in a way that it is necessarily useful for you. So I would like to have reviews that are honest in nature, but we can discuss how our use is, because just because I find that something's not a good product, or I find that something is a phenomenal product, does not mean that you're going to find it the same way. So I think that those discussions are good to have. And I'm a gear nut. I love gear, whether it be, you know, shirts that I wear out on the river, hats, sunglasses, wading boots, waders, you know, drift boats, fly rods, reels, fly boxes, nippers. We can get pretty deep down the review rabbit hole, and we'll probably keep it a small portion of the show, but I definitely would like to get into that so that you guys can kind of see what we're using. And I'd like them to be independent where I'm not. I'd like them to be something that I bought and I'm not being given. So anyways, that'll be a component. That'll be something that I'm looking forward to. And Johnny will probably be reviewing a lot of stuff as well. And we'll probably be having kind of peer discussions on them together. So you can look forward to that. Another aspect of the show format that I kind of would like to touch on is that I am part of the conservation committee for Sebago Trout Unlimited. And this is kind of a new thing for me. It's a new venture that I've gone down. I have been so busy building my businesses that I have not had the time to give back. And it's something that's been weighing on my heart for quite some time, in that I love our home waters here that we fish on. And, you know, we have some unique struggles. and we have some things that we could do better. And I wanted to be able to be boots on the ground and actually do the work. Like everybody says they want to do something, but it's really hard to find the time to do it. And I'm very lucky that I've been able to do that in 2024. I'm looking forward to more in 2025. And we're collecting data and working with state biologists to see if we can come up with the information that we need to in an informed manner do things better. We might discuss that down the road, but we also might discuss other waters and their conservation challenges. We have a lot of bodies of water in Maine, and they all have unique challenges to themselves that are not blanketed statewide boilerplate decisions. So conservation will be a big thing. I think we'll have guests that are conservation specific and based. I think that we will also have just discussions where conservation is an undertone, but definitely if you're a conservation minded person and you have topics that you'd like to have us talk about or discuss, please bring those up. I think that it's our jobs to be good stewards and to learn how to use the resources we love and to figure out a way to do it better. And that's a passion of mine. So you're definitely going to see that. As far as guests, I think that you're going to see a very mixed amount of people. I'd like to eventually showcase local people that we work with here in Bethel. Local guides, trail conservancies, land trusts, you name it. I would like to eventually be able to have some of them on as guests to discuss what they're doing well and kind of inform people. I'm going to have probably a lot of guides and industry professionals that I know, or that we hopefully gain enough of a viewer base that we can draw here. And we'll go down the rabbit hole of discussing fisheries, fishing techniques, all of the above. I would love, there's a handful of artists that I would like to have come, and those will be super fun. I can't wait for those. There's so many amazing artists out there that are creating just beautiful works of art in the outdoor landscape. And in the fly fishing world, I think it's so amazing. I think art and fly fishing kind of follow each other. So I think that's great. You will see some shows where I might be solo if there's something that I would like to discuss, but I'm going to see how this evolves. I don't really see my, preference as being one-on-one. I do like discussion. I know that we're going to have Johnny on here. He'll be on probably quite often as a guest, or he might sit in when we have other guests. So we'll see how things form in the coming months here, but that's kind of how it's going to look. If we go to, what episode 2 is going to look like, I'm gonna have Johnny on, and we're gonna discuss something. I don't know what, but and I don't know if it's gonna be good, but we're gonna discuss something, and we're gonna hook up 2 mics to this mixer I got and see how that works, and we'll try to adhere to the show format that I kind of laid out in a confusing manner to you earlier. And we'll see what we can come up with. So, but before I end, I just would like to say to everybody out there that has supported me to this point, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I have so many amazing friends and family and acquaintances and clients and guests, and they've been so supportive, during the tough times that I've had. And, you know, whether it was when I was taking my hiatus from art, because I didn't have it in me at all, after the deaths that our family went through, or the people that just encouraged me when I was stepping out in faith, building the yurts and doing what they were doing, or all the people that helped all these projects to come to fruition, and the people that kept messaging me about how much they appreciated my art, and wanted to know when I was going to have hats and paintings again and up and going, and when I was going to have my online store going, and just all of those people. I appreciate you all. And this is everything that we're doing is possible because of you. And it is awesome. So that's that. Looking forward to seeing you guys hopefully in a week for episode 2. And so we'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.